Today, part 2 of rules and regulations that you need to know as an expat. And yes, today I'm talking about things that are legally required to do. So rules and regulations that you need to know, because if you don't do it, you might get a fine. So let's start with something very simple, and that is riding a bicycle after dark without your lights. In the Netherlands, it's mandatory to have functioning front and back lights on your bicycle when cycling in the dark. Failing to do so can lead to a fine of up to €55, and it is considered a safety hazard. I agree. It's better to be seen when you are in the dark. Another one is this. It is required to register yourself at the municipality. So failing to register is a common thing that some expats might not know. If you are staying longer than 4 months in the Netherlands, you must register your address at the municipality. Not doing so can affect access to healthcare, legal residency, and can even result in fines. So if you are in the Netherlands and you're sure you're going to stay, register yourself in the municipality. It gives you benefits and it is much easier. Throwing away garbage incorrectly, that can be another pain in the neck. Dutch cities have very strict waste separation rules for recycling and waste disposal in general. Well, some expats might find this confusing, especially to find out how to sort waste correctly, or use these special bins and follow the local regulations about garbage collection. So this can not only lead to complaints with neighbors, but it can also lead to hefty fines. So find out what the rules and regulations are in the municipality where you live. Another problem is ignoring noise regulations. The Netherlands have very strict regulations regarding noise, particularly after 10 p.m. Loud parties or music after this time can result in complaints from neighbors and visits of the police. Continued violations might lead to hefty fines or eviction from your property, especially rental properties. So yes, this can be a very serious thing. So make sure that you know what you're doing. So after these noise regulations that you really need to know, another thing is quite important, and that is illegal subletting of apartments. So there are expats that kind of like sublet apartments or rooms without realizing that subletting is another way that is not allowed in the Netherlands, especially in big cities. This is really not allowed. You need not only permission from the landlord, but it's also something that can be illegal in a part of social housing. And in that case, yes, it is reason for eviction. Now, public consumption of alcohol is another part that can be quite restricting. So drinking alcohol in public places such as parks or streets is generally prohibited in Dutch cities, unless otherwise indicated. So we're talking about terraces or something like that. Violating this law can result in a fine, especially in big cities like Amsterdam and Rotterdam. So it's just not allowed. You're not allowed to drink alcohol outside of the terraces. Another one. Cycling while using a mobile phone. Now, in many countries, you can't use a mobile phone while driving, being in a car, a motorcycle, or anything like that, unless you have a hands-free something. Now, in the Netherlands, it's also illegal to use your mobile phone while cycling. If caught, cyclists can receive a fine up to €100, and it is a significant distraction for safety. Well, let's face it, while on a bike, you need both your hands to get around. So, don't do it. renting out property as a vacation rental without permission. Cities like Amsterdam, they also have indeed rules and regulations that require property owners to obtain permission, like to rent out rooms or apartments in general on platforms like Airbnb. Violating these regulations can lead to very, very high fines. So please be aware of that. It is not allowed. Possession of illegal weapons. So many people that come from other countries are used to that they can use certain weapons. Think like pepper spray or knives or other things that seem harmless. However, in the Netherlands, pepper spray, for example, and other personal defense weapons are illegal. So therefore, carrying them can cost some really, really heavy fines or maybe even arrest. So make sure you know the rules and the laws before you actually take these things with you. Littering and not picking up dog waste is not a problem in the Netherlands. Yes, you have to pick up after your dog. Yes, you have to correctly dispose of the litter that you have. And yes, I know there might be Dutch people that ignore this as well, but you as an expat, you know better. So, especially in parks and residential areas, make sure that you pick up after the dog, that you actually pick up the litter that you have, either bring it home or put it in a waste bin somewhere in the park, making sure that you do it correctly. So here you have it, 10 rules or regulations that you might not have known and you might have violated in the past. So make sure to obey them to avoid, losing money. Alright, don't forget to watch the rest of the videos in this series and make sure to subscribe and like. See you next time.